Hello, my name is The Great Metaphor, and my Let's Plays are about to look a bit different. From now on, the plan is to record the video and the commentary separately. It will be a lot more work, but hopefully it will allow me to keep up with the chaos on screen. For any new viewers, this is Expert Pack 2 of Metatanks, and it's one of the biggest and baddest level packs my game has to offer. Fair warning, the day I recorded this episode, I had not gotten good sleep. My gameplay is going to be a bit goofy. But hey, you won't have to listen to my loud keyboard. Now, this level was just a bit of a warm-up, and I already talked over the interesting part, so let's skip straight to the next level. This pause wasn't for dramatic effect. I actually needed a moment to process what I was looking at. You see, I hadn't played this game in several months. I was too busy making videos for a song and my game Violet Raystorm. On top of that, it had been at least a year since I had seen these levels, and I did not do a practice run. Then boom, right after the warm-up level, I was hit with a level that surrounds you with lots of explosive enemies and flying enemies, and they're all very fast. There was a lot to take in, and it took me over a minute to get a successful run. That's a lot considering most attempts didn't make it to 5 seconds. Let's talk about the levels themselves, shall we? This level pack makes extra heavy use of 4 specific enemy types. Those round enemies were originally part of the mini-boss of the second episode. As a normal enemy, they can be quite threatening due to their large numbers, which is why in many levels that they appear in, it's a good idea to focus on them at the start. Those yellowish-orange enemies, the kamikaze tanks, can be extremely inconsistent and annoying to deal with. If they get close to you, they demand your full attention. They aren't too bad in this level, though. I'll talk about other prominent enemies as they come up. None of those appear in this level, though. It's still plenty challenging for other reasons. This pack consists of a lot of levels that box you in with enemies on all sides. Luckily in this one, you can find easy cover. If you've seen my other videos, or played the game for yourself, you know how oppressive those machine gun bunkers can be. This is one of their nastier appearances, as they can reveal the even more oppressive and unpredictable laser tanks. Power-ups are dubious in this game, but the mortar in the top right is very useful here, so you can hide behind the terrain. Although, I messed up by grabbing another power-up, forcing me to be more aggressive for a while. Despite my mistake, this is one of the easier levels in this pack. You know, comparatively. Oh look, a level where I forgot to write down the name of the person who made it. For the record, it's July, the same person who made most of the levels surrounding it. I don't really know what to make of this level, and I'm guessing I didn't back when it was made either, as it lacks a name. The first half is somewhat interesting, but structure-wise it feels more like an intro to the second half of the level. But the second half of the level kinda feels like filler. Maybe I wouldn't feel that way if the kamikaze tanks hadn't uselessly self-destructed on my successful attempt. Still, maybe I should have cut it off at the first bit and called it something like Flame Tunnel. As a side note, I do not remember the flamethrowers firing for so long. Very obnoxious in this level. But that's the end of the Flame Tunnel, the rest is just cleanup. I am currently encased inside of an enemy. I told July, yes, July and the commander are the same person, to do that to make it clear that those pods do not do damage until they fly off their host enemy. Now, this level gives me an excuse to talk about mortars. The #1 reason why this is arguably the hardest pack in the game. Not only do they force you to move constantly, but their explosion radius is deceptively big. That makes them a big problem here, in what would have otherwise been a very simple level. Combined with the 4th enemy type I looted a couple levels ago, they will become a nightmare. Let's focus more on this level. While I was reluctant during my successful run, I generally think it's a good idea to get the rocket launcher early on. It's slower than your main gun, but allows you to clear out several pods at once without risking your own bullets coming back and hitting you. Besides, you needed to clear out the gray blocks. Just try not to break the left wall before you intend to. Dealing with the swarm of basic tanks while there are still mortars isn't impossible, but it's quite difficult. Revenge of the Mortars. That's honestly a name a lot of these levels could have had. But after playing episode 2, Revenge against Mortars is what you want. Personally, I'm just shocked I spelled mortars right. The mortars forcing you to move and the laser tank's area denial makes for a nasty combination. This level is more straightforward than it looks though, as proper routing will keep you safe. Projectiles can't bounce off of grates, so the plasma tanks are less of a threat than they look like. Still, this level can take a while, and I was starting to overthink how I was playing, so my successful attempt took longer than it needed to. I spent a lot of time on this level, so let's speed things up. Grabbing the mortar power-up when I did probably wasn't necessary, but I was starting to psych myself out. Hey look, one of the few levels with a machine gun power-up is worth taking. I still tried to get the grenade power-up to work though, as it's a lot less dubious overall. That was a mistake. While it's not the hardest level in the pack, I'd hesitate to call it an easy level. I'm surprised I beat it on my second try. This level is the third and final level in the mini-series of levels that trap you in a confined space and task you with making precise shots. This one's way easier than the previous two though. The only notable part is that you have to use the power-up that allows your bullets to bounce off of 2 walls instead of just 1. I guess that's what I get for letting someone other than the designer of the first 2 make it. The first target you're supposed to hit is the small one on the right, shown with the indicator I hopefully remember to edit into this section. Hitting the left one kills you. Hitting the large one in the top right frees laser enemies that should, in theory, cause problems for you. But I was blindly firing without really thinking about what I was doing, and even destroyed the targets in the wrong order. But I still beat it on my first try. Although I did get lucky since I didn't hit the one that would kill you. Once you get freed from the first part, the rest of the cleanup is easy. I tried so hard to make the name of this level a reference, it just wouldn't work. These guys are called the SNEK. Yes, that's actually what I called them. And usually they are only a threat for 5 seconds before they ram into their own tails, which is their weak point. I'm pretty sure the only reason why this took me 2 tries is that I wasn't paying attention and didn't see the one that was closer to me. Thank you so much for watching this rather experimental Let's Play. If you made it this far, please let me know in the comments what you think of this new format. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. If you want to play Metatanks for yourself, the link will be in the description. I'll see you in the next video. These are da. You only know